everyone, and welcome to One Shot number 27. I'm Gabe, joined by Jocelyn as usual, and we are completing Body Bags. We started this a couple months ago, and we are finally completing it here today. And what a doozy these last two issues are for issues 3 and 4. Are you ready to dive into this?
There's a lot of crazy things said in these issues.
There is. Okay, I'm going to have to bleep some, because some of the stuff I want to talk about, I'm going to have to bleep what I say.
Or at least say, what the equivalent is.
Yeah, because it's crazy. Dude, at one point, there's a point in this book you'll see, for 5 pages, they just start saying super, things you can't say in 2025. Okay? You could say it in 1999 and 1997. You couldn't say it in 2005. So we start off here where we left off. Remember, Pops and Clownface were working a job trying to get $50,000. Pops is struggling with his injury from the bombing at the office that he was a part of when he was attempted to be killed. That ended up killing his wife. Clownface's daughter, Panda, has shown up uninvited, and she wants to be a body bagger like her dad, and he doesn't want her to. After being locked in a room by her dad, she somehow escaped and jumped into the car and joined them on their $50,000 payout hit that they're on. And that leads us right into issue 3 here. We see Pops. He's looking through his scope. He just says, damn. And he's trying to focus. And Panda is on a railing. And she's just like, oh my God, the bridge is so beautiful, don't you think? And he's like, can you please get down? You're being very distracting. And she just keeps talking to him. He's kind of annoyed because he's like, can you please just not piss off your dad? She's like, why? Because he doesn't want me here? And he's like, no, I don't think that's the issue. The issue is if you blow our cover, that will piss him off. So please just get down and relax. And then she asks, where is my dad anyways? And he says, there's a number of security for this party. He's just making sure we don't run into any trouble. But each image is him, brutally murdering these men. The first picture is his giant knife going through a dude's head right down the middle of his dome. And the next, in, one swoop, he's cutting off a guy's head and then chopping another guy's arm and body in half. So brutal.
At one point, as Panda's talking, he goes, man, are all, women, this overly emotional?
And she goes, geez, get a tampon. Talking about his head bleeding.
Yeah.
So then we find out they're looking down at this party here. There's these giant soldiers, otherworldly soldiers. I forgot that this world has creatures and super powered people. But these guys look like they're straight out of an X-Men book, honestly, right?
It looks like their version of what a Sentinel is.
Yeah, and they kind of look like Dr. Doom.
Kind of.
They kind of have the Dr. Doom mask going. But we find out these guys are soldiers, robot super soldiers that were used by the government that eventually went rogue. And now they're basically just hired hitmen for whoever has the highest price, which is fucking so dangerous. So then as we see that, Panda asks why he's got the sniper. And he's talking about how they're here to take out Antonio Scorsese, who's that rich dude that had the son that grabbed Panda's ass, remember, on the plane? And the wife...
How could I forget about that?
And the wife, Maureen, is the one that backed her up. Panda finds out that they're there to kill Maureen. So Panda is not happy about that. We are celebrating this little shit's birthday party. Scorsese's son, he's having a big birthday party, having a good time. He's still banged up. His nose and eye are still all destroyed. He's still missing all of his teeth from when Panda fucked him up in the plane. And Antonio goes to the back and he's talking to his wife. And he's like, listen, you can at least pretend to be out there and having a good time. And she's like, listen, I would if this was an actual birthday party for our son and not some sort of business cover-up. Obviously, I have no reason to be out there. I benefit nothing from this. And she asks him, is it always business before pleasure? And he says, always. What a fucking loser. You know what I mean? So now we go back to Panda and Pops on the roof. And Clownface is like, hey guys, I fucked it all up. We got all this time. We're going to do so good. What's going on here? And Panda has a gun to Pops' head. And she's like, we're not going to kill anybody. This isn't what I want to do. And Pops is like, well, I'm guessing your dad didn't tell you, what's going on? And she's like, listen, this is, wrong to kill her. You can't do this. And Clownface is like, well, duh, we're body baggers murdering people. Murder is not good. We never said this was going to be good. And he's like, listen, this is for $50K. $30K of it is going to save Pops' life, and the rest of the 20 is for us to do whatever we want to do with it. But we need to do this job. It's the only way we're going to get paid and save Pops' life. And he tells her that, too. He's like, we need to take her life to save Pops'. He means more. Honestly, the way they craft the relationship, I really like. And he says, he goes, everybody has a choice, Panda. Your mama did, and she left me 10 years ago. What's yours? So she cries and drops the gun and lets them take out the Scorseses. And right when Pops, Pops who doesn't miss, he's like bullseye, shoots, and he fucking misses. For the first time, he misses. I forgot what they were called, but they were like their superpowers. They each had like a weird quirk about them. And that was Pops's. He was a sharpshooter who never missed. And he just missed her head. Fucking alarm bells going off. These fucking giant super soldiers are jumping from the ground, leaping to the rooftops as Clownface is trying to escape with Pops. But they get right on them immediately. And it's kind of crazy. They bring out like these weird knives from their face, like snakes, which look kind of crazy. So as they're doing that, Panda blows one of their heads off, and she tells them right there, I made my choice. I'm with you guys on this, We see all these explosions going off, and Clownface pulling out his knife, and right when everything is blowing up inside this building of the Scorsese party, the son sees Panda, and he goes, it's her, look, it's her. It's it's that Mexican psycho slut from the plane. And Miss Scorsese sees her, and she kind of gets happy to see her. She's like, "Oh, so it is." Like she's very happy to see her and see that she's okay.
Like in the panel, like visibly smiling.
Yeah. And I like how they show Panda, like they see her looking over from the rooftop, and she just gets yanked away by Clownface.
Yeah.
So they start to make a run for it, and Pops' head is just pounding. He just can't move. He's struggling so hard to get on the run with them. Clownface is booking it. He's hightailing. And Panda stops him. She's like, hey, I think Pops is hurt. And he goes up. He's like, you get to the car. I'll figure this out with Pops. And he tells him, he's like, hey, let's go. We got to go. He basically says, leave. This is my end of the road. Clownface is trying to work with him and trying to find a way to help him out. But he says it. He's like, just let me die. This is one thing I don't need you for. And I want you to live. You have a daughter now. You have to take care of her. I don't need to be here, but you need to be here with her. You can't stay with me. You need to go. And right when he does, they kind of dap up, and he tells him, like, you always put things straight, and I'm gonna miss that about you. This is actually a really great line here that Pop says. He goes, there are too many ways to die, and only one way to live. Live it well, bro. That's kind of a sick line.
It was, actually. I was very impressed by that. They do the fucking Dutch and Dylan, you son of a bitch, like
the clap,
that handshake there, yeah.
And then these super soldiers, they see them, and they keep calling them meat. They say, "Is the meat spotted?" And you see.
By the way, if I'm in public and someone yells, "Hey, has the meat been spotted?" I'm running.
Like,
I don't want my meat to be spotted. Pause. Pause.
Can you imagine if he was like, ooh, is the meat spotted? The other one was like, hey, yo, bro, chill, whoa.
If this was set in New York, everyone on the shoot would have been like, hey, yo, man, come on.
Yo,
pause,
relax.
Pause.
So they tell them, they're headed for the expressway. They're tracking the car, and they hear a click go off. And you look, and it's the coolest picture of Pops, just blood-soaked, full fucking, like, John Moxley gigged.
John Moxley gigged.
He is bleeding profusely. And right when they're talking about going to the expressway, he goes, and you're not. And you see the pin from the grenade falling and a big explosion on the rooftop. Pop sacrificed himself for the greater good. And I love the image of Panda with tears in her eyes and Clownface just fucking stone-faced, looking straight. But you can tell he's sad.
Oh, of course.
The storytelling, the imagery in this is amazing. It is insane. Like, Pearson, underrated. Rest in peace, Jason Pearson. But this is fucking... The storytelling in this is... Especially here. Like, this next scene, amazing. So we're back in the apartment now. Clownface is talking to Panda. And she's like, what do you mean, like, we have to leave? And he's like, we gotta go. The job wasn't done. There was a mistake. They're not just gonna forgive us for, like, not getting the kill. She's still alive, which means we're dead. We need to go. And she's like, what do you mean? Like, we're just gonna run away like some pussies? Like, what the fuck? Like, we shouldn't run. He's like, you don't understand how this works. We can't fight them. And she goes, this isn't my idea of being a body bagger if you're just gonna run away like a pussy. And he breaks like this giant box. He goes, just shut up and pack. You whine just as much as your pathetic mother. And then she pulls a gun out on him. I kind of read it, like, I know it has exclamation points, but I kind of heard it in my head of her with tears in her eyes, like, don't ever talk about my mother again, like, trying to hold it back. And you could see it. She is profusely crying.
Yeah.
And she's like, don't you ever say her name again. She talks it like, you left us for dead, and you left Pops to die. Because, you know, she obviously doesn't know the conversation. She goes, you left us just like you left him. You're a piece of garbage. And he looks crazy, and he's like, put the gun down. And she goes, screw you. And he goes, put it down now. And when she doesn't, she fucking shoots at him. Nails him right in the chest. She goes, screw you. And he eats it, and she's crying in anger. And he goes, you dug your own grave, bitch. And then he fucking goes for a swing at his daughter and punches a hole through the wall. So she starts blasting again. She lets off like 6 more rounds near his head. She calls him an asshole, jumps in the air. He cuts the gun in half, grabs her by the face, and throws her across the room. And then he grabs her by the throat with his knife in the air, right about to kill her. But as he's doing that, she's bleeding from the mouth. There's an image of her on the ground as a 3-year-old baby. And he looks at it and his eyes get big because it's his baby girl. And he lets go and he just says, don't piss me off again. And she goes, okay. And he wipes the blood off of her mouth. And then this is where it gets a little problematic.
Yeah.
We introduce this new character coming in saying, oh, how sweet. This is who's being sent, being brought over to kill Clownface. Okay. So they talk about this joke. This is Cisco. Cisco says,
not Cisco who sings the thong song. Different Cisco. Different Cisco.
They said, oh God, can I even say this joke? Okay,
I forgot what the punchline was.
The punchline is very racist. That's why.
Yes.
They say a slur. Okay, Cisco's a racist fuck, all right? Makes a very extremely racist joke about Mexicans to the 2 Mexicans. And Clownface says, it wasn't funny the first time you told it, Cisco. And she goes, that your boss, that fat tubba. And then he pulls out like this taser. And he's like, Angus, your little woman over here, she does have a mouth on her. And you realize Angus is the dude from the other issue, like the big muscle guy. So he's like a creepy pedophile. Because remember, she's like 15. So
yeah, that's right.
And they say they want to take her for Angus's mating purposes. Whoa.
Yeah, that was...
So they're here to kill Clownface and Panda. And as he's talking and he's all dramatic, one of the other soldiers that he has with them is all fucking burned up. Like, he is all burned up. Real bad. I think he said this is Icarus?
I think so.
Because they didn't, like, outright say his name, but he looks crazy. He has, like, tubes coming out of his nose to breathe, staples. He's all burned up. He was a part of the explosion that happened that was mentioned at the beginning of the story.
I vividly remember him, but I don't remember his name.
And it's funny, too, because, like, at the same time they show his face, Clownface and Panda both go, ugh. All disgusted.
Yeah.
And so this Cisco has been monologuing for like 4 pages now, going off about how no one listens to him. He wanted them killed, but they didn't listen. No one ever listens to Cisco, and he's crying. And then Panda, she calls him gay in a very offensive manner.
Speaking about slurs.
She goes, why do slur have to talk so much? And then Cisco looks angry. And then fucking Angus goes, the boss is a slur? And then Panda goes, what? He is, isn't he? And then Codface goes, no, Cisco is just a fat, ugly chick. And then he pulls out a knife to kill Cisco. So he tells Panda to get out of there. He goes, I want you out, get the pounce. And she goes, okie dokie. And she goes to like fight. And then Cisco tries to tase her. and misses, and she hits the iconic swing, bada bada swing, and it kicks him in the face and goes, strike! I love her.
That was
Her
wild.
lines in this are great. She has great one-liners. So then Angus, her pedophile boyfriend that wants her, he goes, is my sweet potato pie tough or fragile? And then throws her into the ground by her arm. And as he's about to punch her, the greatest thing happens. His hand is raised up in the air, and all you see is Clownface's big-ass knife cut his hand off from, like, the forearm. He deserves it. So I like that he does that on the way to fight the other guy. So it was just to add that little insult to injury there. Starts fighting with that like cybernetic ninja that's there. And he talks about how now he's stronger and deadlier than Clownface and he could take him out. He goes, finally, I'm better than you in every way. And as he's like doing this evil villain monologue, Panda goes, Daddy, you gonna let the $6 million man Jizz Leech kick your ass? And he goes, it was a lucky shot, that's all. And then they're talking about how they're not getting the money and all this. And Clownface goes, you should have saved your money for Jenny Craig. Panda barks at him.
That was so random.
So Angus is like bleeding like crazy, and him and Panda charge at each other. He tries to grab her, and she jumps out the way and goes, psych. That's awesome. So he goes flying through the wall, and she goes, giddy up, boys. There's a Nahoo sheriff in town. And then she grabs a gun and is like, oh shit, it's empty. Clownface is still fighting with this other villain while Panda's trying to load up this shotgun with shells really quick. And Angus's priorities are all over the place. He's like, boss, you're a woman? Confused. And he's like, God damn it, just like kill her. And he starts talking about, like, he goes, I told Mama, Cisco, I don't want no ice cream. I want my pie. And then Panda goes, you saying you want me? So right when he starts getting up, Angus, we cut back to Clownface and this ninja fighting each other. And he actually cuts Clownface's knife into pieces, which hasn't been done before in the past couple issues. And then Angus is still going, pie jelly. So then Panda fucking clocks the shotgun and just starts fucking blasting at Angus, even going, ooh, that's gotta hurt. After she shoots him like in the face. So she's blasting away at him constantly, and she's like, Dad, he's not stopping. And they go flying through the wall together. And Clownface looks away from who he's fighting, and he calls out for Panda. And right when he does, he turns around to go back to the fight. And he gets like the guy has knives like Vega that he's wearing.
That's the perfect way to describe it, yeah.
Yeah, and they go through Clownface's hands. And he goes, oh man, just see, oh, so it's Janice. That's the person's name, Janice. He goes, you know, Janice, I've been letting you off easy. And he basically says, I've been going easy on you because I didn't want my daughter to see me kill someone. But now that you guys just did what you did to her, she's not here to see me do what I do best. And that's kill people. And he starts snapping his arm, punching him in the face, in the gut, and like he just saw his daughter possibly die, go through a wall. And he's just going insane. They show his hand all blood-soaked. He goes, do you understand, punk? I just didn't want her to see what I do best. And the dude falls to the ground, fucking dead. He beat this guy to death with his bare hands. And right when he has him won, they also there's a great shot of the Converse he's wearing. Like, there's so much detail in the Converse. I don't know why I like that. They're like blood-soaked red Converse. Right when he's winning, he's got the upper hand. Cisco pulls out a gun, and he goes, where do you think you're going? And then, out of nowhere, Panda comes back, and she goes, Daddy, hit the floor. So he drops to the ground. She shoots the shotgun at the same time as Cisco shoots their gun. Panda gets hit in the shoulder. And she goes, that's it? Man, getting shot ain't nothing. And she passes out. We point to Cisco, who's still shooting the gun, but they're only shooting because Panda shot them right in the fucking brain. And they're just brain dead, and their finger locked up, and they're just shooting the gun constantly as they fall to the ground. And as that's happening, Clownface goes, oh shit. And he hits a gas tank and explodes the apartment. They go flying onto a car. He protects Panda. She falls onto him, so he takes all the damage. And he goes, come on, you're not that hurt. Come on, we gotta get out of here. The cops will be here soon. And right when he says that, the whole city's fucking police show up. And they tell them to freeze. And he just goes, screw you. I'm getting out of here. And the cop's like, listen, I don't want to hurt you, but we need you to come with us. And he goes, hurt me? After all we've been through, and he falls the same way Panda did after passing out. So they arrest them, and now I'm guessing it's either the same day or the next day at the hospital. By the way, this hospital looks like a piece of shit. There's pieces missing from the floor. There's cracks in the wall. It's a mess. And we see it's Clownface and Panda inside the emergency room. They're watching TV, and it's the news station talking about the explosion that went off and how Clownface and his associate were taken away. And we see them in the hospital bed. Clownface is kind of just staring outside the window. He's very serious. And she's like, well, how did you get the cops to get off your case and let you go free? He goes, listen, I just need to know something right now. This morning, before she's going, Janice interrupted us. I found a peculiar receipt in Pops' bag. And this is where you find out the plane ride she was on to go meet up with Clownface and Pops was paid for by Pops. He bought the one-way ticket for her to go over. And he goes, tell me the truth. And this is where you find out this whole time that her mom's dead. And Clownface is heartbroken. You find out she had breast cancer. They were planning to tell him, but it happened too fast, and it killed her. It was her idea to send Panda off to him because she thought it would be good for them to spend time together and be together. The mom, before she passed away, said for her to bring him the ring that she wore. So she gives him the ring. It's actually very sad.
It actually is, yeah. It's a very poignant moment in the comic.
And she says it. She's like, maybe Pops thought that, maybe some part of you would want me. And he goes, so what? I'm just supposed to take care of you now? I should kill you for everything you did, for slowing me down, for costing me the biggest payday of my life. I told Geach when I met him, our kind isn't a family type of people. I told you we all have choices. And he pulls out his gun, and there's a noise from the room. So the nurse goes to check, and Clownface is leaving after the noise, and the nurse is distraught, saying, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And he says, she'll sleep happier now. And you find out he gave her the gun with a little note saying, welcome to hell, Dad. And it ends with her sleeping with a smile on her face, a clip in one hand, and a giant Glock in the other. A brand new gun after he cut the other one. So it ends on a happy note, and that was Body Bags. What did you think of Body Bags?
Well, listen, I didn't think it was a great read, but I thought it was pretty fun for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. It flowed really fast. It didn't feel like a slog to get through. The art was really nice to look at.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Like there was some, there were some moments I'm reading this book and I'm like, man, I really like these exterior like city shots.
Yeah, the way he did the city, like the way he built the city was amazing.
And that's kind of what fascinated me a lot is like, man, I wish we could spend more time learning about the city of Terminus.
Yeah, honestly.
The way that he drew it, and it just looked very...
I want to know about the other Body Baggers.
Really cool. That too, yeah, I would. I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not a great read.
Yeah, but it's fun. I've read so much worse, and this was so much fun.
Yes, but I still really enjoyed it for what it was.
If you want a good action book, this is the book to pick up. But honestly, that last issue, if you want like a solid story being told, that last issue, I think even just those last couple pages were probably some of my favorite storytelling. Like the reveal of the mother, and you see why now every time when she pulled out the gun, telling him to stop talking about her mother, you know why now. And why she cried every time he was like bad-mouthing how the mom left him. It's because she was dead. Yeah. And now like when I was reading it back, I was like, oh shit, you can see why she was so hurt every time he mentioned the mom, or why she wanted to avoid talking about her mom. I think it was a very good, I liked it a lot. I had a really fun time with it. There are more Body Bag stories. This was only the first story that they did for them, and there was more. And sadly, Jason Pearson has passed away, but Body Bags does live on. This past year, in 2024, there was a Body Bags and team-up book with...
Hack and Slash, right?
Hack and Slash. It was a Hack and Slash and Body Bags team-up book, and I still need to get my hands on that.
I still need to read that myself.
Yeah, because I want to know what that's all about. So, and I think Seeley worked on it, too. I think he wrote that. And I think that was a 4-issue miniseries, the same as this. So, and luckily, it looks like Panda's drawn older, luckily. She's an adult, I think. From all the art pieces and covers, she's drawn as an adult. So, I think in the Tim Seeley one, I think she's an adult. because she's like taller and like lankier limbs, and like her face looks different. So
Right.
I think I don't want to say for sure because I haven't read it yet, but but I'm intrigued. I need to read it. I actually want to read the rest of the body bag stuff because there's like another one shot they did, and then that team up book. But there's not a lot for body bags because Pearson passed away, so there was only really a handful of things that they did with these characters.
And he passed away really young too.
Really young, yeah. Man, I forget how old this book's almost 30 years old. Next year it turns 30 years old. It's pretty nuts. Body bags. I give it a thumbs up. If you get your hands, I got the trade paperback from Image Comics. I got it on like Amazon and all that. So if you're able to get your hands on that, I would recommend it because it does have the cover gallery of all the variant covers, and it does have like sketch pages and pinups and all that. So definitely, if you're able to get your hands on that, definitely do, because it just it looks very, very cool.
And even if you don't get into the story, I think you can just appreciate like the art.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, honestly, the story's very simple too. It's
It is.
two guys that are like bounty hunters that have a big payday because one is hurt and they need to pay for his surgery. But the wrench gets thrown in of their daughter showing up, of one of the guys. So that's the whole story. You know, it's very simple to digest. So it's not like groundbreaking, but it's also not bad, if that makes sense. It's done very well. Yeah, body bags, thumbs up. Check them out. Next month we have a fun one. We are finally going to be tackling something for our review that I've been wanting to tackle for a long time, and I believe you've read it, I think.
Oh, interesting.
But it's something I've been wanting to read, so we're going to read it. Night Watch #1.
Oh, yes.
Marvel's response to Spawn. I want to read Night Watch, so I thought, let's do Night Watch #1 before we jump into like July when we talk about Superman and all that stuff. Let's take a quick little break with Night Watch #1 just to see what that's all about. We read Spawn #1, so let's read his counterpart. While it's still pretty fresh in our brains.
Of course.
So yeah, for next month's issue or one shot, it will be Night Watch #1. So look out for that. And until then, we will see you guys somewhere. Or maybe not.
Somewhere sometime.
Bye.
Bye.